Hello, welcome welcome to presentation on libraries. We are all familiar with libraries. What is a library? As we know, a library is a place where there is a collection of books. Not only books, there are many documents, different types of documents available. A library is a collection of sources of information and similar resources made accessible to a defined community for reference or borrowing. It provides physical or digital access to material and maybe a physical building or room or a virtual space or both. In all this sense, library is basically a collection of books. Does a library keep only books as its properties? This is a question that we need to raise. Library also holds many kinds of resources, documents. So there are different properties a library should hold. A library's collection could include number of things, not only books, but we basically depend libraries for collecting books. There are also periodicals, many types of documents, microforms, maps, newspapers, CDs, DVDs, even video games, audio tapes, prints, films, manuscripts, even ebooks, audiobooks, and databases. These, these properties are usually available from a library. Now, what are the types of libraries that we could have? Libraries can be divided into categories by several methods, such as by the entity that supports or perpetuates them. So, what are the properties of a library? For example, academic libraries or government libraries, public libraries, school libraries. So, they have particular orientation with which they promote the purchase or keeping up of resources. The next type is by the type of documents or materials they hold. There are data libraries. Even digital libraries are there, picture libraries are there, slide libraries, tool libraries. So there are different types of documents or materials. The other category is by the subject matter of documents they hold. Architecture libraries are there, fine arts libraries are there, law libraries, medical libraries, theological libraries. These are different types of libraries according to its categories. Academic libraries. What are academic libraries? These libraries are located on the campuses of colleges and universities and serve primarily the students and its teachers. So we have academic libraries, Gallo. We have a centralized library in the college, and there are some departments which hold departmental libraries for safely securing their own particular needs and resources useful for their studies. The next is public libraries. These libraries provide service to the general public and make their books available for borrowing so that readers may use them at home over a period of days or week. So we might have perhaps a subscription to or membership in public libraries. Through public libraries, we can avail the services of many such resources available in these libraries. So usually the public, the people in general, could make could could get the services of public libraries. Research libraries are there. These libraries are intended for supporting scholarly research and therefore maintain permanent collections and attempt to provide access to all necessary material. Research libraries are particularly set up with a specific agenda, giving attention to the needs of the research, and they fundamentally support the scholars, research scholars who are recent visitors in those libraries. We might be also familiar with school libraries. Most public and private primary and secondary schools have libraries designed to support the school's curriculum. So there are different needs that the coming generations need in accordance with the needs of their reading habits. So they keep different resources to tune of the students and the subject matter they have to go through. There are some libraries which are addressed as special libraries. What are special libraries? All other libraries fall into this category. Many private business, public organizations, including hospitals, museums, research laboratories, law firms, and many government departments and agencies maintain their own libraries for the use of their employees in doing specialized research related to their work. Special libraries may or may not be accessible to some identified part of the general public. Branches of a large academic or research libraries dealing with particular subjects are also usually called special libraries. Special libraries particularly fulfill the needs of particular communities with a specific orientation. Let us take the case of hospitals. They might have perhaps needs for reference for promoting their research studies. So these resources, especially special libraries, may not be accessible to the general public. Now, there is recently a shift from traditional libraries to digital libraries. So we are very much familiar with this notion in this era of the pandemic COVID-19. So we are not actually able to access our central college library. Traditional library setup has been lost. Now we might perhaps shifted our attention to digital libraries. Okay, so a shift from traditional to digital library can be observed. Information and communication technology, shortly addressed as ICT, has revolutionized the concept of libraries. Traditional closed access libraries are shifting towards open access library. The open access libraries are shifting towards automated library. The automated one towards the electronics library, and the electronics one to the digital, and finally digital library. So there is a continuous shift that is happening from traditional libraries to digital libraries. So based on the technology used, libraries can be categorized as the following. Traditional library. We have our central college library as an example for traditional library, where we have collection of traditional books, and also print media, manuscripts, etc. are kept, and they are not well organized. The documents are deteriorating at a rapid rate. The collection information isn't easy to locate, so doesn't easily research user. They are confined itself within a physical library. So there are some drawbacks with regard to traditional libraries. We may be perhaps at a difficulty in finding a particular book that we are actually in extreme need of. So the library, even though computerized cataloging system, may not be perhaps sufficient to help us to reach the book in a quick, easy manner. The next type is automated library. A library with machine readable catalogs, computerized acquisition, circulation, and online public access catalog are called as automated libraries. In an automated library, so all the procedures will be computerized, and computer machines fulfill the task. You can issue for a book through online reference, and the books can also be set up for a particular use with messages from computerization, and you can also access the catalogs of the books available in a library through online public access of catalogs. So the next type is electronics library. When automated libraries go for LAN, local area network, and CD-ROM networking, and started procuring e-journal and other similar kind of publications, then it can be called an electronics library. Electronics library generally work in a local area internet network, and they will be procuring e-journals, e-books, etc. So the next category is digital library. It is a later stage of electronic library. It provides a wide range of internet-based services. Audio and video conferencing and similar services are offered through digital libraries. The next type is a hybrid library. What are hybrid libraries? The libraries which are working both in an electronic or digital and print environment are known as hybrid library. Actually, it is a transitional state between print and digital environment. It is estimated that in near future libraries will be of a hybrid nature. So, a hybrid library actually upholds all the virtues of all the libraries that we have seen so far, including electronic, digital, and print environments. Now, there are some factors of change to digital libraries. What happened? We are actually witnessing an information explosion these days. We are living in an era of ICT, information communication technology, and there is actually innumerable resources and information is available as an exploding rate. Searching problem in traditional libraries is actually a problem. So we have shifted our attention to digital libraries. So we could search databases easily. And technologies are to a great extent low cost. And we can access the resources even with the help of even our mobile phones at hand. So we need not purchase supercomputers to access digital libraries. Environmental factor is also there. The use of digital libraries is the cleanest technologies to fulfill the slogan burn a CD-ROM, save a tree. Of course, this seems to be more better that burning a CD-ROM than killing a tree to construct books. Even though these things are there are many scholars who even today depend on traditional paperback books or other hardbound editions of particular books that they require because they still need the touch and feel effect of the traditional books. And there are many new generational requirements, needs. Say we have many applications available known as apps to access online library needs. So in an online library, it may be very easier for the users to get one and the same copy of a book for multiple uses. So in a traditional library, it cannot be done. So there are many new generational needs identified. What are the advantages of the digital library? Say, digital libraries do not have any physical boundary. Say, you need not go to a particular place. You can have it anywhere in the world. And it may be available 24 hours. Round the clock availability is there. And you could have perhaps a structured approach. In a structured approach, you could access the resources with your available accessible limits. So you can have an overall output of all the searched content available in the catalog of the digital library. And multiple people access those resources at multiple times. And we can all easily retrieve information at any time. Suppose you are searching for the catalog of a particular book, say catalog information, meta information can be easily retrieved, and we can get to know the location of a particular books, be it in a digital form or in print or archived form. So space constraints is actually a defect or a disadvantage for traditional libraries. So digital libraries to a great extent solve this issue of space. So digital libraries are also advantages because of the modern internet networking technologies. And at cost wise, we have perhaps reduced costs for maintaining digital libraries. And there are more added values services offered by digital libraries. There are also a few disadvantages to digital libraries. What are they? There are problems of copyright. Digitalization actually violates the copyright laws of a particular books or resources that we require. So copyright infringement is a matter to be taken care of. So speed of access, more computers are connected to internet and its speed of access decreases. So this is a problem. When there are multiple users, the service may not be, especially the service of the digital libraries, may not be accessible to many people. So there will be some delay in rendering services. But there are many solutions to it. Initial cost is high, so the infrastructure setup of a digital library has to be taken care of, and it will be normally very high. But later, the use purpose can be reduced. What about the bandwidth? Digital library will need high band for transfer of multimedia resources, especially having audio, video, audio visual content can be transferred only if you could have higher bandwidth for, especially for your internet connection. So but bandwidth is decreasing due to its overuse. What are the environmental concerns? They can reproduce the environment of a traditional library. It is true. So we have a virtual library in a digital library setup. So it is not actually a replacement of traditional libraries. What about efficiency? With the much larger volume of digital information, finding the right material for a specific task becomes increasingly difficult. So this can also be told in vice versa. So efficiency is actually matter with regard to technology. So if you have more than enough content, say digital information, volumes of data that the systems or servers could uphold, so finding the right material may be perhaps a difficult enterprise. The preservation. Due to technological developments, a digital library can rapidly become out of date. Its data may become inaccessible. So, the preservation of content is actually a matter of concern. So, digital libraries can rapidly become out of date because the data that it is used may be perhaps to a great extent inaccessible. So, in other way, preservation can be easily also done in digital libraries, but we need technological developments. Now, let us see some popular digital libraries already in existence. What are they? We have Universal Digital Library. Many of you are familiar with Project Gutenberg. Project Gutenberg is a grand project wherein we have many ebooks available. So they have also an additional service. So for rendering voice content. So it is good to see Project Gutenberg. Bartleby is a very popular digital library. We are all familiar with Google Books. Books.google.com is the URL of Google Books. Another category is live search books, World Digital Library, ERIC, ERIC, BiblioVault, Internet Public Library. These are some commonly available digital libraries at hand. Thank you all for your patient listening.